I gotta get my little glass of wine. Oh Lord.
Well, get your wine. Yes. Welcome, Rough Ends, Dante. How are you doing? David, how are you doing, sir?
How are you?
I'm
glad
well.
to be on the show.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. It's been so anticipated that you all would join us, so we're excited about it.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. And guys, we have part of the studio set up, so we'll see about us getting something, maybe a little love song or a little something just for our patience, right, guys? Okay, well, congratulations. Let's say that first for your new album, your new project. We were anticipating seeing you before you went to New York to do your meet and greet, which was so fun to watch the live with you all doing the Rebirth meet and greet. So with that being said, how did it go? How is the album release rolling out? How is all of that working now?
Man, it's doing wonderful, man. We are blown away at the response. It's a different world from when we came out, you know, with Sony some years ago. It's more of a digital world, but the footprint of Rough Endz digitally, their album reached #3 on Apple Music nationwide. And the fans have just been enjoying the music, man. New York came out and we had a lot of fans. We were there from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Right.
So we had 3 hours, and throughout that time, there was different people coming through and popping up on us, and fans were just coming out. So it was good to connect with our fans, man. We kind of went old school with the old-fashioned way of promotion, which is being out in the street like how we used to do it.
Yeah.
Which this is what we kind of used to that. So it was really fun just to be in New York City. We practiced social distancing as well. We had, we were masked up as well, but we were outside and we just had a great time, man. Shout out to the label SRG, my man Raphael from over at SRG that really put everything together for us. And we just had a wonderful time, man. It was beautiful.
Yes. So what's your favorite song on the album? Ladies and gentlemen, Rebirth is the album. That's what Dante was just holding up. Super dope album. As you all know, I started vibing off of it weeks ago. So that was my little, they've been making us wait a little while, but they wanted to make certain, I guess, we got through the whole album before they joined us. So yes, good job. Good job. We did that. But what's your favorite on the album?
Me, I don't have a favorite color, so.
Oh my gosh.
Revolving door.
Okay.
One song. My first favorite was Congratulations, because I just feel like there's not a song out on the radio like Congratulations. You have breakup songs, and to us, with the wisdom that we've grown to have as older men, we know that things that break is brash. It hurts most of the time, or it's destructive. When you talk about breaking something, moving on is different. Moving on is like some agreements was made and some things was talked about, and y'all moving on versus breaking up. So when you're talking about grown folks music, you're talking about 90s R&B or whatever the case is.
My favorite.
You're talking about a combination of things, not just 90s vocals. You could sing a certain way, got a certain kind of or something. No, it boils down to a synergy of things, a combination of things. Certain kind of producing, definitely a certain kind of writing, definitely a certain kind of delivery. So for us, we felt like it was very necessary and important to do a moving on song versus a breakup song, because let's just be honest, moving on is more mature than breaking up.
Yeah, the grown way.
Like two good people finding a bunch of bad stuff about each other. You was this and you did this and you did this and did that, and it's like at the end of the day, other people that know them that wasn't in a relationship with neither one of them know mostly good things about these people. But when you're in a relationship and you breaking up, or you'll find every bad, you stay on the couch 2 hours too long every day or something crazy. You feel me? So
especially in the pandemic, huh?
Right.
Exactly.
That was really bringing out that.
Right, forced into these confined spaces and forced to have these conversations. You forced to talk stuff that you was covering up with work, covering up with dealing with the kids, doing this, and kids got soccer and stuff. Now it's like, done. You in the house together, what you gonna do?
Yes. So, David, what was your favorite on the album? Or did you have one?
I had a few on the album. And like Dante said, it definitely, after listening to it, because I'm the producer on the album, so and I mixed the whole album as well. So my ears on the record is like,
thank you.
I was just like, I had a day, when you're hearing something over and over, especially when you're mixing something, it's like, it's a different, but now that it's like, it's been out, I can hear it differently now. And Only When I See is one of my favorites. Party Over Here is one of my favorites now. Your Body with Bone Thugs, the record we did with Crazy Bone, is one of my favorites.
Is that the one where you're taking the application?
I
was like, wait a minute, applications happening again? Okay, we really went back to the 90s.
Indeed. And All of My Love is a classic. I think All of My Love reminds me of the 90s. There's so many 90s throwbacks in that song. It's the All of My Love track comes from Piece of My Love from Guy. It has that spinoff, and we have the R. Kelly throwbacks in there, the Joe throwbacks.
I had that note there to ask you about that. Yes, All of My Love was my favorite until I heard Overnight. And then once I heard Overnight, I was like falling out the chair, like, oh my God, stop time. Where do we do this?
my favorites keep changing. Like, I love the whole album. I feel like I had 12 kids. I don't know what you call that. Quintuplets.
Too many. A basketball team and a backup.
So to me, I'm thinking like, I feel like it's kids. Like, I'm gonna love all of them. All of them got its own special qualities that make me love them like crazy. Like the concept of a lot that we were instilling in the album was purposeful love to a woman from a man.
Oh.
That was our thing that we was really driving home and bringing back. Like when we were growing up, women were named after stuff that sounded good. Honey bun, sugar pie, sugar, sweet cake, sweet thing,
right?
Like all of that. Like that's what I'm used to. So I'm like, you know what? I can't complain about it if I'm not trying to fix it myself. So
that's right.
That's why you might hear on the album we use so many different names. Baby, your love is like sugar cane. Like it's different things. You know what I'm saying? Because
the
it's
only one I see in a billion stars in the sky. I was just like, you're killing me here. You're killing me. I can't do this. I'm sorry. It's a pandemic. We all coming out of quarantine. Nobody trying to have children at this age. No.
Let me say this line to you as a woman and just see how I feel. Like, because we thought about this. Me and my brother, shout out to my brother, super producer, super videographer. Rough Ends is Rough Ends because I love working with my brother. My brother loves working with me. So that's my hand when these albums come out. So this third verse that we wrote, because it wasn't going to be a third verse, right? And in the third verse, we say, I'm not going to say I don't see them. I'm not going to say they're not there. I'm not going to say they're not worthy, but baby, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You got my whole heart, I swear. Without you in my circle, I'm feeling like a square. You feel me?
So fire. Yeah, and that didn't make Only One I See. Like, can we do a remix, please? Can we start that now? The remix. We need that added.
It actually made it. It's on there. That's the one that
okay, it is
that's
there.
The breakdown. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. See, once I got to a certain part, I just left it there and just let it loop. So I might not have made that particular one, but some of the other ones I caught the lyrics on. And I was just like, and it's so dope that you all wrote those. You know, it wasn't like you didn't have the opportunity to let it just kind of be part of who you are. And just like you said, what you really wanted to share. So I think that that allows for the delivery to be so much more amazing.
Exactly.
That is coming from your soul, your heart. That's how you feel. You've created that intent and it's happening.
Indeed.
So
and that's what makes the
congratulations.
album so different from any other thing any other album we put out.
Right.
This album is something that is from us directly. Like the first two albums we did with Sony, those were like, I don't even know how many producers. There was so many producers on those albums that I can't even count them. Like it's a lot of writers, a lot of producers. And it's great to work with other people, but this album is an expression of our true self, of what we as a group feel, and be able to, to deliver that to our fans is just amazing. So
yes. And now, did you guys start this album in the pandemic, or had you already began before we went in?
We started it, but go ahead, Dante. You can take it on.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead. I know you.
We started it right before the pandemic. Okay. All of My Love was a song that was a kickoff for the album. It was that one. It was I did a song called Party Over There, Party Over Here. And that was like that was 2019, like December, November. And we decided, it's the Christmas time. And this is what we usually used to do. Like every holiday, me and my partner would be working because the industry, quote unquote, is shut down. Radio was not playing nothing. Everybody's playing Christmas music. So we would usually go in the studio and knock out a lot of stuff, but we really didn't get to do a lot of stuff because, whatever, not knowing that the pandemic was around the corner. So anyway, we did All of My Love. We got a call from a friend of ours. Her name is Sheree. She's a female that used to be in a group that Cisco had out called Lover. Okay. It was a female group, and she's from our hometown, but she's now in LA. She's a music director for a lot of different film productions and stuff like that. So we got a phone call from her. Dave, I need you to do a song. We got a song called Piece of My Love from Guy, but we don't want to use Piece of My Love because I guess they want too much money for the song to use it in the film. Can you do something different? 2 days later, I sent her back All of My Love. And this was just on some film stuff. I wasn't thinking about the album. We were just trying to get her something. And at the time, I didn't even get a chance to get my partner, Dante, on the song at the time. It was just, that's why on that song, I'm singing both verses, because it was like something she needed like right away. So long story short, it comes out in 2020. The Pump soundtrack comes out. They're excited about it. But in 2020, also the pandemic happens. But also later that year, I guess a few months later, we link up with SRG, and that relationship happens as well. And that's when we know we have to begin to work on an album. So that was that song was one of I would say the kickstart to this Rebirth album, you know what I mean? And it's kind of funny how things worked out, you know what I mean? But that's the short version of the story.
And a great version. I think that, in the pandemic, a lot of opportunity, a lot of uptick has happened. And, just being able to just come together, do new projects that you might have, like you said, been putting off, just being able to be more creative and having more of it in-house as opposed to having to, invite others in. So this project, you were able to kind of embody more of it. And I think that's amazing, which now we see, from you guys writing it collectively as well as producing it, all of that, you're able to put exactly the spin on it that you intended to do. And now going back to, the other albums that you had, now Love Crimes was a very successful album. And it was actually one that I will say I put in the 90s, even though it came out in 2000, but you had to go in the golden era. I'm sorry, we just put you there. So that album was fire. And now the success of it in thinking about it in its entirety, do you see Rebirth kind of following in that? Or what are you anticipating with that album to be even better? Or what do you think?
I definitely feel like as artists, you always grow. I mean, as human beings, you always grow. As a human, you always grow. So it's one of those things that you can't really foresee sometimes. You got to just do you. That's like Leonardo da Vinci ain't know he was going to be that famous. He wasn't that famous his whole life when he was alive. He's huge when he passed, like huge. Like, not to say we're going to be huge after, you know, but I'm just saying.
That's what happened.
I'm saying, like, you just got, as artists, and we heard this a long time ago, and when we was teenagers, you just got to do the record. You just got to make the record.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think about all of that stuff. You just got to make the record.
Yes, yes.
Or Dave McPherson, somebody told us that, one of our mentors. And he was like, you know, you get in this space because you're so creative, you'll lose yourself and lose people. Like, you know, in your own mind. That creative level is like levels of genius almost that the average person might not understand. Like, so you just got to do the record. Like, you got to do the record. Like, if you're feeling it and you think it's hot, do it. Like, you know, Thong Song was like they was playing around with the Thong Song, I heard. That's one of his biggest songs. You know what I'm saying?
And that track wasn't meant for him. It was meant for somebody
you know
else. Uh-huh. And he happened to get it, and I wasn't even supposed to keep it, from what we understand. So yeah.
CeeLo, Happy was for CeeLo Green.
Right.
CeeLo Green didn't want to do it, and Pharrell kept it, and it's one of his biggest songs he ever did.
Absolutely.
For us, it was No More Shopping Sprees. No More Shopping Sprees for me was like the most undersung song that we had.
Really?
Compared to that first album when we was like veins popping out the neck singing and you know, all this great poetry and all this.
Grabbing for air.
Right.
Oh, the grabbing for air started with you all. Right. Okay. Because we're doing that now in the pandemic, in this quarantine.
you can't foresee a song sometimes might, like on TikTok, like song wasn't big, but it's huge on TikTok now.
It was huge to me anyway. I mean, No More was like the party anthem. Yo, it was just everything. It was everything. And now are you from Baltimore, or what was the relation to Baltimore?
Yeah, we're from Baltimore.
Okay. Okay, so good. We're all close we were. And then what did you film that No More in Baltimore?
No, we did it in California. It was actually a video directed by Billy Woodruff, which is a super director back in the day.
Yeah.
Did a lot of stuff. Now he's doing reality shows and stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah, very familiar. Who are you all's influences in, getting into the industry? Who did you, kind of listen to, love as you were growing up and entering into the music world?
Well, I'm gonna start first. I'm gonna jump from side to side real quick. I'm everywhere with it. David, and I thought about this one day after we did an interview. My brother David, the bald head guy over there.
Okay.
So our influences go like this. For me, it was like rough voice people, Bobby Womack, James Brown is in my top 3. John Witherspoon, When I Wake Up in the Morning Time type joints. But then Stevie Wonder was crazy favorite. I used to listen to everything because my mom was like real big on R&B, on soul music. When me and Dave got together, my influences from the gospel side got heavier as far as like John P. Key, Commission, and stuff like that. But together, I got to put this part in there because I haven't really put it in too many interviews.
Great.
Me and my brother influenced each other a lot. Nice. You know what I'm saying? I think Dave probably sung with more finesse. He always had them crazy ad-libs. I'm like, bruh, like, my neck gonna be tired trying to follow. You know what I'm saying? Like, golly, like, he's like, he couldn't stop. But I learned I think my brother picked up some of the roughness from me. And I know I definitely picked up a lot of smoothness, and I got a lot of my ear from my brother. I got a lot of, you know what I'm saying? A lot of my ad libs. Cause I could sing, but I ain't do too many ad libs. So it was like, you know, I thought about this the other day and I was like, I got to make sure I put this in the interview. So I definitely have a bunch of worldly interviews, I'm going to call them. Stevie Wonder, John P. Key, James Brown, and even R. Kelly or whatever. But my brother, I know my brother definitely inspired me and was a part of me creating the sound I have now as a man.
That's
you know,
awesome.
we were ages when we started. You know what I mean? We was
Yes.
like babies.
And what about you, David?
I think, you know, my brother Paul, I got a brother, Paul, that I grew up singing, you know, and like listening to. He played guitar, like my whole family sings. So my family was like the Chances, but they were supposed to be up there with the Winans and the Jacksons, but
No.
I'm the only one that kind of did something with it. But, you know, I grew up in a musical home. So music was all around me. We was harmonizing around the dinner table, that kind of a thing. But my brother Paul used to sing. Him, my sisters, and my other brothers, they had a group called the End Time Messengers, like a gospel group. And he would write songs and he would sing. You know, he had me singing songs when I was real young, like 5, 6 years old. So, you know, he was one of my first inspirations, you know what I mean? As far as singing, you know what I mean? And wanting to sing, because he had me just singing, come on, David. And my ear was better than a lot of my sisters that were in the group with me, you know what I mean? So he you know, he would move me around in the harmony. No, David, you take that note. And I just understood. I saw music differently. I guess, I don't know. I just seen it on an advanced level as a child.
Yep.
So, but when we got together, like in high school, my brother Simeon, I have a brother Simeon that loved music as well. I mean, he used to have go to the record store all the time.
All the time.
Jodeci and Boyz II Men, those two main groups. I listen to a lot of groups, you know, Guy, you name it. I mean, I was listening to all of the R&B. I was an R&B fanatic. But when Jodeci and Boyz II Men came out, I always put them at the top because those two groups were like the main groups that I would say influenced and really made me want to sing, like want to actually be in music, like be in the music business, you know what I mean? Especially Jodeci, because they had a certain sound that was just like, wow, I couldn't believe that they looked like they was from around the way, but they was singing, you know what I mean? They made singing cool, like it was a cool thing. It wasn't like, you know, people make fun of you, a singer, you know what I mean? They made it so like cool to be a singer. And it was like, wow. And of course, Boyz II Men, their harmonies was phenomenal. So it reminded me of my family. And I just like, every time I would listen to a Boyz II Men song, I understood what they were doing because I had the ear to understand like their harmonies and stuff like that. So when me and my brother met up, we knew each other growing up as kids, but we didn't really like hang around each other. But in high school, when we connected, when he first met me, I was around the piano with some guys in the school, giving them harmonies and like working on a song or something, you know what I mean? And Dante came over and started vibing with us, and the rest is history.
Oh, but, like that piano you're around right now, is that a piano or a keyboard?
It's a keyboard. It's not on right now. But
oh, how convenient! It's not on.
Look, I got the video. See that?
Dante, stop laughing. He knew he probably unplugged it before we started. It's a setup.
No, I didn't.
He knew I was going to ask. Can you sing? Can you sing something?
Priceless. Your tone is like, oh, it's not on. How convenient.
Nah. It was already. Look, I don't know if you can see this over here, but this is the Hopeless video over here, right here. We just shot.
Okay. So, was that the one on the yacht?
Yeah, this is the one on the yacht right here. Yep.
Okay.
On a yacht.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I pay attention. Don't worry.
Right. Oh yeah, I see. We see.
Yeah,
I pay attention. Yeah, that was
over here.
That's dope. I did want to say though, in some of your albums, I've heard influences like Babyface. And
Oh,
so I wanted to find out.
Wow.
oh yeah.
Valencia, you got a good ear, dog. I see.
Oh, yeah.
I see.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
I gotta start with Babyface. Listen, Babyface, the Babyface album. Like I know you heard one of the lines, and I say something like whip appeal. You got that whip appeal. You got that
Yes,
something.
yes.
That was definitely a shout out to Babyface, one of the
Yes.
great writers of all time. Kenny Babyface Edmonds. I'm just give him a round of applause anyway.
Yes.
I mean, man, come on, man. I mean, I was a kid. We was working down the fudgery to get my little checks. I used to hit the music store. Man, I bought that Babyface album, and I literally used to put that thing on repeat. Every single song I knew, every single song.
Right.
Word, I'll pay your rent, your faithful lover. As soon as I get home from work, what kind of man will leave his girl in the cold? It must have been alone. Like, come on, man, Babyface. Like, so for us, and I'm glad you brought that up, because for us to pay homage and to show love for the people that carved the path for us is priceless. And because we feel like that's what a lot of artists kind of lose today. Like R&B and rap artists. Like, man, listen, things wasn't as easy as they are now on a lot of levels. Like somebody really had to put that work in. You know,
that's what I think the body of work was so much more defined, and it meant so much. And in this time where we're all looking for some sort of comfort, we're going back to that music. You understand? So just because it's easier now, and we just had a conversation about this on the last show, you know, it doesn't make it great because it's easy and you can just pop in and out, you know, like just drop this song. There's no heart to it. There's no soul. There's no love. There's no message. There's nothing that we can identify with. It's just, you know, and we're not really as much in that basket of music, or, you know, crate, if you will. We're not in that crate right now. We're, you know, like you just said, all of the Teddy Pendergrass and the Stevies and the Shakas, and, you know, we're there. And that's where we're finding our, you know, inspiration, our motivation for doing new albums, and, you know, just being able to be at peace right now while we're still coming through this thing. So I think that just speaks volumes. And I always ask, who was your influences? Because I think that it does show in the work that you've done. And not only did I hear Babyface, but I heard some El DeBarge in there. I did hear some.
Where'd you hear El DeBarge? What song did you hear El DeBarge and Babyface?
It was in the Love Crimes, I think, album. But for some reason, like I'm trying to like glance at my notes and talk to YouTube. And okay, help me. Which one was it in the El DeBarge family? I don't know. I don't remember which song it was that I heard, but it sounded close to.
No, that's a first for me, for somebody. That's why I'm wondering. I'm sure it's in there.
Okay, I'll have to go back and look and see, because I have a list. I had Stevie, Stokely, I had El DeBarge, and I had Babyface. And so I'll have to go back and send you which one it was for which song. But yeah, I heard a lot of that inspiration in your music. And I think that your second album, Soul Brothers.
That's the third. That'll be the third album.
Okay. That one to me was just like underrated to a degree. Like, where was it? You know, I didn't know much about that particular album, but it was so strong. And probably some of those influences I heard in that one, because I did take time to listen to all of them, you know, to kind of refresh. But that Soul Brothers album was nice. And I did post one of the songs you said I went all the way back with that particular, the Parking Lot, but that was a 90s vibe.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
exactly.
I think that was
Soul Brothers was the album we did when we first got back together. So we did Our City, Baltimore was on Freddie Gray. You know, the whole thing with Freddie Gray happened.
Yes. Okay.
And me and my partner hadn't talked in years. We hadn't seen each other in a long time. And we actually ran into each other. Like, it was a divine running in. Where we ran into each other, he was actually on the phone talking to somebody about me, and I was in the car talking about him literally at the same exact time. Nice. And I drove by him, like, yo, that's Dante. I was actually saying, every time I drive around or see somebody, I always see somebody that remind me of Dante. And as I'm saying it, I saw Dante, and I'm like, see this guy right here? He reminded me of Dante, and that was actually Dante. So when I got out the car, it was him. And when I got out the car, he was on the phone talking to somebody, and they were talking about a show that he had did, and the girl was like, "You got to get the original member back in the group." I'm telling you, you know, it ain't the same. Well, while she's talking about me and get me back in the group, I'm running across the field over to where Dante is, because I spotted him, and he's like, "Oh my goodness, you're not gonna believe this.
That's like a love story.
David is running over here to me right now." So I just had to put that in there.
That's like a love story.
It is. It's crazy. It's like, it is. It's a brotherly love story, because we like
that's dope.
Rough Ends is built on, we like family, you know what I mean? We are real friends, you know what I mean? And our love for each other and our families, like I know his mother, he know my, you know what I mean? It's like family. So when we were apart, you know, it's like missing a part of yourself. So us getting back together was bigger than, you know, was a big deal, you know what I mean? So it was like a reunion, if you will.
Yeah.
But we did a song called Time for Change that was a song that was dedicated to Martin Luther King and Freddie Gray. And that kind of sparked the beginning of us wanting to get back in the studio, and we put out Soul Brothers.
You have an island background, like your family is from the islands. Okay. And so you had that influence as well. So that's awesome, as you know, to actually be able to insert. And now I didn't hear much of it on your new album, but I did hear it in the Soul Brothers album, that you had some of the island vibe there. So that's dope.
The Hopeless,
you gotta play that.
The Hopeless song is
that's it.
So I had to put one song on there. I didn't really go in, but it's on the Rebirth album. That's actually going to be a single that we're coming out with as well. So we're excited about that. We've been trying to do this kind of vibe for a minute, even when we was with Sony. Right. So it's good to really to be able to put this out there,
to mix it and do what you want, to add in there what you want to in terms of the influence. That's definitely I mean, it should be time. You've had, this is now your 5th album. Yeah, so with this, you should be able to have all the influences that you want. Anything that you want to insert, you should be able to just, that's right. That's
it's like
right.
jambalaya, gumbo, something. You just throw it all in and throw everything in the pot.
That's it. And you've earned the right to be able to do that. You all's contributions to the culture, to the music, to the things that, you know, we've listened to, the tracks that we've listened to, obviously. My other favorite is from the Love Crimes album also. Someone to Love. I'm sorry it's there. But that's that's there. But that's what, you know, and I will admit that when I start to think, okay, I know all of that I need to say. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about that. And then we're just sitting in that era. And I'm like, wait a minute, it was this and it was that and this was this. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. It's so much. So it was amazing to take that journey and just like, you know, knowing what we enjoyed, which were those 2 songs specifically, but then coming through 3 more albums, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And then we get to the last one and it's still fire. Usually, you know, somebody might lose a little air. They might get a little tired. It doesn't sound the same. But I'm like, okay, now they taking applications and they stopping time and they sending people off in a nice way. I'm like, this is too grown.
So funny.
This is too grown. So what's next? So you all are shooting the videos. Are you done with the videos, or are you still shooting them for the album?
We still got visuals. We got a couple more visuals we're gonna do for the Rebirth. So right now we got Congratulations that we're gonna be shooting coming up in a few days. We just shot Hopeless last week. We shot the first day of Congratulations. Now we're gonna do the second day, this Tuesday coming up. So, and then of course we gotta do a video with crazy bomb. You know, I mean, that's just only right for our fans to see that. You know what I mean? So, you know, Bone Thugs and Harmony were actually on our label on Sony when we were on Sony back in the day. So it's good to come back, you know, back around. And, you know, we wanted to work with them back in the day, but just things never popped off for us. But it's good that we get a chance to at least work with one of the members, which is one of my favorite members from the group as well. So, and of course we got to do something for Only One I See. I think Only One I See is a visual that we're going to put out there, because we're getting a lot of fans and a lot of support. And there's this party over here. We're going to do something for that one as well.
Well, you all will be working for a while.
Yeah, we're gonna really put out a lot of visuals, man, because it's a pandemic, you know, and we gotta support the project, and we just wanna.
World.
Yeah, it's a big world out there, man. So, yeah.
Performances. Have you all planned any live concerts coming? I know that we're kind of speaking about opening back up midsummer, you know, early fall. Are you all putting anything together?
Most definitely. We have a show in Atlanta coming up.
Oh, the white party you have coming up.
Yeah, the white party is
Houston.
Houston, right.
Okay.
Yep.
Atlanta is the parking lot party, parking lot concert.
Yeah.
Gonna be really nice. We have some tour stuff in the works with somebody real special. I don't know if I should spill the Bush's Big Bings just yet, but we are very excited about hitting the stage again and really turning it back up. I mean, you know, that's one of the things we had to really learn as artists. We had to learn to sing in the studio, because from young, all we did was sing live. That was our whole. So to be back at the point where we hitting the stage after all of this craziness and connecting with our fans, like, oh man, it's like a family reunion or something.
Family reunion, absolutely. And any plans to tour abroad? Is there any specific place that you all like to go, or you want to go to perform, or are you just gonna keep it in the States for now?
Africa.
Okay.
We're going to Africa later this year. We're going to Kenya, supposed to be later this year. So that's on the books for us. It's a safari. It's a bunch of stuff they got planned for us over there. So we're gonna be going to Kenya, and I think we're gonna be even going to Uganda as well.
Okay.
So, and of course the UK is we have a show there, but they postponed it because of you know, COVID-19. But I think that's gonna still getting a new date sometime this year.
Right.
So right now, June 5th is Atlanta. Then we've got June the 25th, I think, is the Black Expo in Pennsylvania. That's going to be in Pittsburgh. And then we've got July 17th in Houston. So those are the 3 dates that we're doing right now. But we got, you know, people are calling us right now, and we got some more dates that are going to be calling on the books. But definitely that tour is going to be happening in July and August, and that's going to be a major deal right now. So we're excited. And we're going to be going out with a live band. So if you haven't seen a Rough Endz performance with the band, you have to see it, because you know, my brother right here, he does a phenomenal James Brown impression. And
he was doing that. I think you were in Florida out doing the dance, weren't you?
You paying attention real good, don't you?
Well, I couldn't get here and have a conversation and not know what to talk about. And you've given me plenty of time to be able to do all of the research.
You shot like a Ginsu over there. I ain't lying.
Pass that word on. Thank you. It might keep me here a little longer.
Love it. I love it. Yeah.
Yes.
JB, yeah, we like if anybody came to see the couple shows we were doing with like the winery. Is that what it's called, Dave? What is it called?
Yeah, the City Winery.
City Winery. James Brown is something that we put in our show sometimes. You know, that's just gotta do it. I don't know. People love it. Plus, for me, it's a level of homage and fun. Yeah. It's just fun. Like people really have fun on certain songs, and like James Brown and like Gap Band songs.
Oh yes.
They fun.
That's
They,
it.
yeah,
Yes.
like you feeling it.
Yes. Oh my gosh, the Gap Band. Now they know the Gap Band is it. We had Wilmer Ragland Jr. on earlier in the year, and oh my
Wow.
gosh, he was amazing. He was amazing, and that just okay. I'll bring it back now. I'll bring it back.
He's phenomenal.
But you also did a homage to the ladies, which was really, really sweet. And you had my sis Jeannie Jones on it. You just did Virtuous Woman.
Virtuous Woman, yeah.
Nice. Yes, that was very nice.
That was from the Soul Brothers album.
Yep. And I was gonna say, when I looked at it, I thought, wait, that's not Rebirth. I missed that song. Where is that?
Wow.
So I looked back, I was like, yep, that's Soul Brothers. But that was dope that you picked the time during Mother's Day, to be able to do the homage to it. And then also, Dante, you've been on the mental health kind of conversation and out movement with that, which I think is awesome, because it's been a lot of, energy around mental health, and extremely, I guess, a focus now because we've been in this pandemic for so long and quarantine and, bringing light to it. I think that what people thought of mental illness at one point, it's just not that. It is really real. And it's something that people are living with every day. Whether you function, in a real space or not, it still is something that's real. And even for me creating Champagne and Conversations, it was for that reason, just to be able to just do something different, have a conversation with people, and not just sit in your own little world and take in whatever it is that you're dealing with, and not being able to have a way to express that. So, thank you for getting out on that and having a conversation about mental health. And so where are you with that? Do you want to give any website, anyone that can support what you're doing?
I'm in the process of pulling in all my allies, like people I'm going to really, really be dealing with, but just as a blanket statement, I just feel like all of our people, most of our people on some level, we need somebody to talk to. We think psychiatrist is a dirty word. It's like, people gonna think I'm crazy. Well, you might be a little crazy. Like, all of us might be a little crazy, and we need somebody to let it out. You could pray about a lot of things, but just praying for something and not actually putting the work in, for a lot of people ain't gonna work. Right. That I'm either take it to my girlfriend, I'm gonna take it to the church. Okay, you can pray. Praying is good, and praying is great, but at the same time, I feel like God honors the doers. You know what I'm saying? He's like, okay, I know I need to talk to somebody. I can't get myself back in the same situation with the same brain that got me in it.
That's right.
In yourself, you think you can fix it. We all got intelligence. We all got levels of brightness and all of that great stuff. I can't take away nothing from nobody, but mental health, mental illness, and mental health awareness is one of those things where, as though most people don't even know they're suffering from it.
Right.
A lot of us write it off like, oh, that's just him, or that's just how I am. That's how he is. That's how she is. No, like we need help. Like, until we get to that point, I think we'll start to grow on another level. But it's about awareness. So this is Mental Health Awareness Month. I'm gonna speak about it a bunch more times. Like, I'm gonna keep speaking about it, because I watched a lot of my friends and loved ones and family suffer, like, in silence. So yeah. Yeah,
I believe you guys lost one of your producers from the first album, and they're kind of saying that to mental illness. So very unfortunate situation. And I actually heard you say that on another live, and I went thumbing through like, oh my gosh, how did I miss that? So yeah, it was, that there may be saying that it was some of that mental illness that set in terms of, just the overload.
Yeah, it was.
Indeed.
Yeah. Definitely that. And not to just bring everybody down, but it is a real thing. And we do have to sometimes stop and, exhale a moment and talk about the real thing. And with this whole pandemic and everyone having to kind of isolate and kind of calibrate, figure out some new things to do. If you weren't in that creative space to keep going and pushing yourself through it, then yes, unfortunately, people fell into dark times, depression, uncertainties. And, for me, I say that was a time to really become one with self, because you had to understand who and what you are, whose you are, in order for you to be able to kind of uplift and get through it. But for those that kind of identify with other things, whatever they were,
Exactly.
you kind of hit it head on. So
and that's why we, as a group, man, when we got back around, Rebirth represents a new purpose. It's like being born again, for us as a group. Yes, we, it speaks of our friendship, us coming back and as a group and as friends, but it also speaks of a new purpose, because we got back together. One of the things we said is we can't be no more a part of the problem anymore. We got to be a part of the solution. And and the only way we know how to do that is through music. So music is our platform to speak positive things. That's why our album has such a vibe that makes people feel good, and that was our intention to have you there, because it's a lot of records that you can listen to that actually it's gonna impact you in a negative way when it comes to your mental health. You understand? Because I believe that input creates output. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things we're looking, watching, listening to that we need to just turn it off and turn something else on.
Yeah.
And it really is not a lot of options too at the same time. It's a lot of these platforms. When I listen to the radio, it's a lot of stuff on there that's not conducive to where we're trying to grow as a community. And no one really wants to talk about that. But we decided this is what we're going to do. We don't know how this album's going to go. We don't know if it's going to be platinum and this, that, and the third, or people are going to accept it. But we said, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to focus on. And, we've been blessed for, people to receive it and be loving on it. So.
And it's been amazing. And we appreciate you all's contribution over the years to the craft, to the culture, to the art, to the music that we've grown up on, the positive messages that you're adding, the spin on the love, even the breakup. You all did that so eloquently, so gentleman-like, whatever, however you want to, phrase that. But yes, thank you for that. And we are so excited that you guys were able to join Champagne and Conversations today to share so much about the music, so much about your journey, where you're going with the new tour that's coming. And we look forward to, being able to get back outside. And oh my gosh, the live band is going to be amazing.
Yes.
If nothing more, not to take away from you all performing, but the live band, in addition to that, will be a bonus, and it'll be amazing for people to be able to get out. Now, I do have to say that you have to add Baltimore back in there somewhere. So hopefully you do remember where you started from, so that you can put that, it used to be the Wolf Trap was like the soul festival that they used to have back in the day at the amphitheater.
Wow.
Yeah. But, I don't know what's going on now, obviously, but yeah, you all have to definitely make certain that you add Baltimore into your tour schedule.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Yes.
For sure. Definitely. It's just, again, Baltimore, Maryland has been real tight with performing, and, Atlanta and other places a little more open. You know what I mean?
Atlanta don't wear the mask.
Exactly. They ain't wearing no mask down. They did it for a couple months and they were like, man,
they were not.
Get this thing, man. We take this mask off and stop playing.
Yeah, they're not wearing the mask.
Funny when you wearing the mask, like you're doing something wrong, like.
I don't understand. Like they didn't have it there. Apparently, something just didn't go to Atlanta, because they were good in Georgia, but now in Maryland it was real, and it still is real, actually. So yeah, to your point, that may have to be on the end of your tour, once Maryland clears out whatever's going on. But yeah, we do hope to be able to get to you there. If not, then we'll have to travel a little further. But I will.
Are you in Maryland?
I'm close. I'm in Virginia.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Well, DC might be on the books. We're looking at somewhere in DC soon. So On this
Oh, really?
tour, we definitely gonna add the DC, and we're gonna be in Maryland. We're gonna be somewhere. We're gonna be a couple places in the DMV for this tour coming up in July.
Yeah, Maryland has a lot of good outside spots. DC,
Yeah.
you would be inside probably, depending upon whether, unless you did it like at the baseball stadium, which don't. But
Okay.
yeah,
Good idea.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Good idea.
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Valencia tour manager. Okay, I see you, Valencia.
got it. Call me anytime. I got it. Yes, I do. And I appreciate you all joining us. We're so happy to be able to just get a little bit of you all's energy and the excitement that you have with the album. And we wish you all nothing but the best, nothing but success. We thank you. We're giving you your flowers now. And we'll continue to give them to you all along the way. So thank you for joining Champagne and Conversations this evening.
Thank you so much for having us. You just want to say it's your platforms like yours that really help R&B groups like us. And it's important. It's important to the world of R&B. Your platform is very, very important. And we thank you for having us on it. We want to let everybody, if you want physical CDs, go to www.srgstore.com and you can actually get a physical CD. If you still want physical CDs, you can get one. You can go to definitely follow us on Facebook at Official Rough Ends on the gram and Facebook as well. And we're the Real Rough Ends on Twitter. And the Rough Ends documentary is going to be coming out later this year. So it's going to be an amazing documentary, our story like never before told. So definitely stay tuned and stay updated on our social media with tour schedules and everything that we're going to be doing. Again, thanks again, Val.
That's awesome. And as far as this album that's scrolling on the side of the screen, you can, I mean, look at the digital. This is amazing. Live, all platforms. Is it streaming on all platforms and is it available?
All platforms.
Okay.
Yeah, all platforms. Definitely.
And you
Apple
can get a
Music.
CD. Do we even have anything we could play the CD on anymore?
Some people just like, I went and got the whole Boyz II Men and Jodeci collection on CD just to have it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a lot of people still out there that, old school cats that just want to get the CD too, because you get the whole, remember the old experience of opening up a CD and reading and seeing who did what and all of that?
Look at that.
Some people still want the whole experience. So we got it for y'all as well.
I love that. And now I need the vinyl. So I think we need a 33. Is that what it is?
I think it's a 33. Yeah.
I need the big one. So you all need to press a couple on that. And then I'll get the exclusive, put it in a plastic cover.
Oh, man. Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Yep, indeed.
David, Dante, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Rough Ends, joining Champagne and Conversations. We had an amazing night. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Official